started recording.
Hello, everyone. It is nice to see everyone here. I encourage you, if you are standing, come on in, take a seat. We're going to be here for a really long time. My name is Sarah Phillips. I represent Ward 3 on the school committee. I'm the vice chair, and I'm the chair of finance, which is why I am standing up here right now. I welcome each and every one of you to my 20th birthday party. It is not really my birthday party, but I am grateful to get to spend my birthday with all of you. We are here tonight to celebrate all of the great work that all of you in the audience and all of you up on the stage do every day for our children. We're going to receive the superintendent's FY26 budget, and we are also going to receive your feedback on that budget. Before we do that, though, let's demonstrate that we have a quorum to do business. I'm going to ask my colleagues to introduce themselves and tell us what ward they're from.
My name is Eleanor Esch, and I'm from Ward 6.
Alana Crabtree, Ward 2.
Ron Tone, Ward 7.
Emily Atkins, Ward 1. Tatiana Valentine, Mayor.
And Laura Catone from Ward 6 is here, but Ward 5, sorry, apologize, Ward 5, not at the table yet. And so without further ado, I'm going to pass it to the superintendent for the budget presentation.
Thank you very much for that warm introduction, Sarah. I see in our audience we have many of our wonderful educators here in Somerville. So a big shout out to them. And also I want to thank our PTOs, our building administrators, every building that's recognized in the amazing contribution of our educators. So big shout out to all of you. I also want to celebrate our nurses today. By the way, it is Nurses Appreciation Day, so if you miss that, don't forget tomorrow. So a big shout out to our wonderful nurses. So I would like to start this meeting by expressing my deep gratitude to work in a district that truly supports all of our students, staff, and families. And it strives for a budget process that is transparent, equitable, and in alignment with the strategic priorities. Your commitment to these values is what makes our work together so impactful. Next slide, please. I also want to acknowledge our highly engaged, thoughtful, and supportive school committee. You consistently put the needs of our students first and set policies that allow our community to thrive. So thank you very much for that hard work. With that, next slide. Let's get into tonight's presentation. Yes, we are here to talk about the budget, but we all know this conversation goes far beyond numbers. A well-designed budget reflects our mission and vision. That's what you will hear tonight, a mission and vision-driven budget. Here at SPS, we envision a student-centered learning community where every student, honoring their unique strengths and backgrounds, is empowered to thrive academically, socially, and emotionally through a tailored support and equitable access to opportunity. Next slide. While we have remained committed to our values throughout this process, I want to be upfront about the current fiscal challenges we are facing, along with many other districts across the state and the country. With federal education funding at risk, rising costs, and significant inflation, we work creatively to navigate these challenges. This budget reflects our ability to overcome various obstacles efforts while staying true to our core values as a district. As you may know, the city administration has asked us to come up with a 5% budget. We did our best to meet the administration at this request. Despite our best efforts, we are proposing a 5.25% budget to ensure that we're meeting critical compliance requirements, are aligning staffing levels with enrollment projections, and ensuring that our students continue to have access to quality curriculum and instruction. I also want to highlight, though, that this 5.25% budget was built on the back of a 6% budget. In collaboration with the city, we were able to lower close to a 1 percentage point. This 5% budget has also some hidden costs, healthcare insurance, building improvements, building maintenance, which it is my understanding that comes close to $36 million. We are thankful for the generous support from the city in that regard. But let me be clear, we have had to make difficult decisions and work hard to maximize every dollar allocated by the city. We are grateful for the support and collaboration of the department heads, the school leaders, PTAs, SU leadership, and the broader community in reaching this point. We will continue to advocate to find a viable pathway during the negotiation process with the SEU team. We will continue to engage with elected officials and will continue to support and to fight any efforts to dismantle the Department of Education at the federal level. All in all, this proposal represents our best effort to align student needs with current fiscal conditions and federal uncertainty. Ultimately, this committee, the administration, and City Council will work together to finalize the FY26 budget. So we look forward to continuing our long-standing partnership to meet the critical needs of our students, staff, and families. Next slide. Now, to our agenda for the evening. I am thrilled to introduce to you an incredible team who has been working diligently through our budget priorities, who have worked through data drives. So I'm introducing to you the team that has been working diligently, who worked through our budget priorities. Data decisions will be seen throughout the process. We also will hear from each of the departments that will provide an update and the basic nuts and bolts of our budget. So thank you again for being here. I'll now kick it over to Amara Anosike, our Chief of Staff and Strategy. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Carmona, for your leadership and for kicking things off for us today. Good evening, everyone. I'm grateful to be here. My name is Amara Anosike. As you said, I'm the Chief of Staff and Strategy for the district. It's really great to see so many faces that I work with on a daily basis. In developing our budget, we were really intentional about making sure we were aligning our priorities with the vision and mission outlined in the strategic plan. Our strategic plan was developed in partnership with students, staff, and families. We actually received over 2,600 survey responses in 6 languages and conducted over 42 focus groups and also root cause analysis sessions. And so together we came up with the goals that serve as the foundation of the work that we do and has guided our budget process. So as a reminder, our major goals from that was academic excellence, equity and access, wellness and joy, and family and community engagement. Oh, next slide, please. Next slide. So that was my slide. Can we have the one after that as well? And so when we go through the night, you'll hear from so many of my esteemed colleagues. you'll see that our priorities really focused on school readiness from birth to kindergarten, high quality, evidence-based and culturally responsive curriculum, best practices around targeted supports for our students, college and career readiness. Under the equity and access bucket, we talked about deploying resources equitably, workforce diversity, safe and welcoming facilities, and how we can expand access to things like CTE and out-of-school time programming. Under wellness and joy, we thought a lot about advancing our SEL curriculum, investing in positions and initiatives that promote joy, increasing opportunities to celebrate our educators and our staff. And then family engagement, we really wanted to make sure our information was more accessible and equitably distributed across the district. So with that, I will kick it over to the amazing data director, Sam Elegini.
Hello, good evening. I'm Sam Elegini, the Director of Data Assessment and Accountability. I just want to take a moment to highlight how data has helped to drive decision-making, especially as we think about this budget process. So this slide offers an overview or a snapshot of the students that we serve in and out of our district. You'll notice that on the left-hand side, we have the different specialized programming for our students with disabilities and our multilingual learners, and that helps to provide some context for the right-hand side where we see percentages of different demographics for our students. So just going across the top, we have the schools, we have the total number of students enrolled, we have high needs, which is a designator for students that either are a student with disabilities, a multilingual learner, current performer, or a student that is from a low-income household. We also have LNE, which stands for First Language Non-English, SWD for students with disabilities, and low income, which is a designator from state for students who participate in different state-run programs like Mass Health, SNAP, KNC, students that may be unhoused, and more. Next slide, please. So, I also wanted to take a moment to mention that in our strategic plan value statement, we mentioned that we believe in using data to drive decision-making to inform our strategic initiatives, measure progress, and continuously improve our student outcomes. And so this year, we began the rollout of Open Architects, which is basically a secure portal with different data dashboards. It's given district and school leaders the ability to access critical data insights at the district, school, and classroom level. And we also have dashboards in a range of areas, right? So attendance data, behavior data, assessment, and academic data, all at the tip of our fingers, which has been a game changer for us. It really allows us to track interventions and monitor student progress, and it's been extremely helpful in guiding conversations this year. And we look forward to rolling this out to all next year during school year 25-26. And with that, I will pass it to my colleague, the Chief of Personnel, Karen Woods. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Karen Woods, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Chief Personnel Officer for the district. Next slide, please. Thank you so much. More than 80% of our budget is dedicated to staff, and our staff is our most valuable resource. These are the people who work with our students every day in providing instruction, intervention, social emotional support, and joy in schools. I want to take a moment to recognize that this is the middle of Teacher Appreciation Week, and we should acknowledge and thank deeply all of our educators for the work that they do every day. In just a moment, we will have the opportunity to take a deeper look into many of our departments, and as we do so, it's important to remember that there are people behind all of the amazing work and initiatives that you're going to hear about. And this is why so much of the budget process is dedicated to the strategic placement of personnel. So I, alongside our Director of Human Resources, Marianne McDonald, our Director of Educator Development, Chris Flynn, collaborate with all of our colleagues to meet our goals and most notably to recruit, hire, develop, support, and advance a highly diverse staff. And so with that, I will now turn the presentation over to our Director of Equity and Excellence, Kaylee Galatano.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Kaylee Galatano. I'm the Director of Equity and Excellence for the district. The Department of Excellence, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what we've done in the past year and to what we are continuing to do this year and next school year. The Department of Equity and Excellence has continued the work of examining access to SEL and academic resources through a lens of equity. And this is a collective effort between the equity coach, the equity specialists, the equity teams, other district and city departments, as well as external organizations with whom we partner with. Some highlights include our PD series for Year 2 educators, which is focused on culturally responsive teaching. And the book that we use is Culturally Responsive Teaching in the Brain by Zaretta Hammond, which is also one of the anchor texts that we are incorporating throughout the district. We had a successful launch of SEAT this year, which is the Student Equity Action Team. And that is a YPAR project that we partnered with Harvard Graduate School of Education, where middle school students tackled an area in their school which they found to be problematic. They developed their own research questions, and then they have shared the data with us. They presented last week at Harvard on Thursday, and they'll present tomorrow at Harvard. And the work that they've done is wonderful. We also had the Diversity Recruitment Fair, and we did that in partnership with Human Resources. The Diversity Fair had the largest number of attendees to date, which is wonderful, and it aligns very well with the district's goal of diversifying educators and staff. And we'll continue to do that work with the Human Resource Department and examine data, especially along the lines of race, culture, sexual orientation, and gender for our staff, being sure to look at culture and climate. And lastly, not lastly, but last on this list, we are actively developing tools and methods, centralized tools and methods, to support the whole child by stating clear expectations, as well as implementing ways that we can measure progress and gaps. And we plan to use tools such as rubrics, centralized resources, and anchor texts, as I mentioned earlier. And all the work that we're doing is done with intentionality to align with the district's strategic plan. Thank you for listening to that, and now I'm going to pass it to Dr. Jessica Boston Davis.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jessica Boston Davis. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Academics. Good to be here with you all this evening. So this year I'll talk right now a little bit about curriculum this year and for next year. This year we used our budget to begin the implementation phase of our work in a multi-year curriculum rollout plan. This slide highlights some of this work, and a huge thanks to our curriculum coordinators, our coaches, our educators who really led on this work. In math, we implemented the illustrative mathematics curriculum district-wide in grades 3 through 5, and also with some early adopters in grades K through 2. We supported this work with all necessary curriculum materials, with regular professional development for all teachers in the form of unit previews, and with instructional coaching. Our coaches also developed pacing guides and other support materials for teachers. Next year, we will implement the IM curriculum in all K through 2 classrooms and continue our investments in curriculum materials, professional development in the form of unit previews and coaching. Under the science and technology umbrella this year, we had a working group in the curriculum review cycle, and next year we will pilot in grades 6 through 8 a science curriculum, and we will expand computer science in middle grades with the addition of a computer science teacher. This year in ELA, in grades 6 through 8, we implemented a new high-quality core curriculum called Fish Tank, and this included the purchasing of all curriculum materials, namely a number of books, and ongoing professional development in the form of unit previews throughout the school year. Next year, we will be implementing a core curriculum in grades 3 through 5, and we will need to invest in all of the curriculum materials and professional development to ensure a smooth implementation. In grades 9 through 12, our English department developed new curriculum materials, and we used the budget to allow for educators to develop this curriculum and to invest in new texts. Next year, we will use next year will be the first year implementing the new curriculum in all grade 9 through 12 ELA courses. We will also pilot new grade 12 early college for all opportunities. And in addition, to better support our students' learning goals and to align to our MTSS work next year, we are also expanding the personalized learning component of iReady in grades 3 through 8. Next, I will pass this over for the next slide to my colleague, Kathleen Baylor.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Kathleen Baylor. I have the honor to serve as the Director of Early Childhood Education and Care. Thank you for the opportunity to speak about how we're centering children, families, and the educators who make this work possible. This past year, thanks to the commitment of our early childhood educators, administrators, and coaches, we've made meaningful strides. They helped launch the See Every Child Teaching and Learning Framework by implementing 7 units during the school year and embraced new literacy and screening tools. We brought on an occupational therapist for better on-site services, moved our Sunrisa classroom from Healy to East Somerville Community School, and gave teachers more access to materials and professional development. We also deepened our partnership with families through partnering with the SFLC, and because we all know that learning starts with families and relationships. Looking ahead, our focus is on taking that foundation further. We're prioritizing stronger curriculum implementation, earlier and better support for diverse student needs, growing teacher leadership opportunities for educators to work with the youngest learners each and every day. We use data more intentionally, guide instruction, and continue building strong homeschool connections to support kindergarten readiness. None of this happens without our early educators, the heart of every classroom. Their expertise and care drive mission forward. It's all about creating aligned, inclusive learning environments where every child and every educator can thrive. So with your support, we can continue building an early childhood system where every child is seen, supported, and set up for success starting the very first day of school. And I'll turn it over to my director, Director Ari John.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ildefonso Arellano, the Director of Special Ed here in Somerville. I am going to be talking about this school year and the progress we have made under 3 specific topics: programming, services, and specialized instruction. The first one being, which was a massive undertaking, which is the implementation of the new IEP here in Massachusetts. We were given a directive from the state last year that all districts had to be fully implemented with the new IEP for this school year by November. Somerville, we started right in August at the beginning of the year. So it is a huge accomplishment that came with a lot of support, training from our staff and from our parents. In addition to that, we are in the process of finalizing clear program descriptions for our specialized programs. In terms of our services, we continue to use Learning Ally to support reading for our special education students. And in addition, we have started to expand that resource as a tier 2 for all students. For our specialized instruction, we had targeted support for our AIM program and for our SEEK staff through continued partnership through the Triumph Center and continued partnership through Landmark in order to provide some training for our language-based program over at Argenziano. For next school year, we have aligned our department priorities with the district strategic plan and still targeting those 3 areas or those 3 topics and expanding to family and community engagement. So expand our specialized programming here in Somerville to ensure that all of our students, whenever possible, are being instructed within our district. This provides a broader range of accessing services and supports and allowing students with unique learning needs to thrive in an inclusive, district-based educational environment. For our services, we want to promote equitable, inclusive practices, ensuring that students with disabilities are integrated into the general education classrooms whenever possible, with the necessary and appropriate supports in order to help facilitate their success. In terms of our specialized instruction, we want to provide our special education students with effective, evidence-based curriculum, instruction and assessment, including specialized instruction to build on their individual strengths and meet their specific learning needs. And finally, for our family and community engagement, it's our ongoing partnership and collaboration with families and caregivers of our special education students in order to improve students' educational experiences. We are also looking to expand our partnerships with our community stakeholders as well. So at this moment, I'm going to pass it on to my wonderful colleague, our Director of Multilingual Education, Paulina Metropolis.